Here are 20 unsolved mysteries of the Demon Slayer series. The first unsolved mystery we will tackle is the reason why Muzan is an idiot. Let me explain. For starters, why didn't Muzan leave Japan? Muzan has been a demon hiding in the shadows of Japan for centuries and he still couldn't find the blue spider lily. So why didn't he leave Japan and try another country? Also, why doesn't Muzan turn more humans into demons to achieve his goal? I mean, Japan has a rough estimate of 126 million people. Let's say we cut that number in half because of the older generations. That still makes it 63 million humans in Japan, and let's say that 1% of them agree to turn into demons. That makes 630,000 demons. In the series, we were shown at most 20 demons. The Demon King could have easily made more demons to broaden his search. I know what you might say, Muzan didn't want the risk of someone betraying him, but he literally had the power to control every demon at his disposal with ease. For the second mystery, it has got to be the legendary Demon Slayer mark. Now, as we all know, the Demon Slayer mark gives Demon Slayers the ability to 10-fold their strength. However, even with the Demon Slayer series ending, there are some major questions that was unanswered. The first being, where did the Demon Slayer mark even come from? We all know that Yoriichi was the first no-human to ever possess the mark, but why was he the only one to have it? And even after Yoriichi, Tanjiro was the only Demon Slayer to have ever unleashed the mark. So are we saying that for several centuries, only 2 people were able to use the Demon Slayer mark? Don't get me wrong, those chances are still higher than you getting a date with your crush. Now, the next question we got to ask is the one major side effects of the Demon Slayer mark, and that is guaranteed death at age 25. Why was this even a condition in the first place? We know that Yoriichi was born with the mark, therefore this condition doesn't apply to him. But why is that? Also, you're telling me that a Demon Slayer who uses the Demon Slayer mark once at age 15 will be granted guaranteed death at age 25? I mean, that trade-off seems a little harsh, don't you think? The third unsolved question is regarding the Demon King Muzan himself. Since the birth of the Demon King 100 years ago, it was said that he had 5 wives in total. However, there is no way that this man didn't do the nasty, if you know what I mean. So the real question we got to ask ourselves is, can demons produce offsprings? I mean, they were humans before, after all. It would only be normal for demons to have human desires from their previous lives. With that being said, if Muzan was able to have a child, he or she would likely be the strongest being in existence, even passing the likes of Muzan himself. If the authors truly wanted to continue the story of Demon Slayers, they would make Muzan's child the next Demon King that needs to be defeated. They could have easily made it Demon Slayer the next generation. The fourth unsolved mystery of the series is the origins of demons. In the series, we know that a mysterious doctor was able to turn Muzan into a demon. However, we weren't given any information to any past demons. How did the doctor know to turn Muzan to a demon? It would make sense if the doctor did the procedure in the past. Therefore, Muzan wasn't the first person he turned into a demon. Additionally, the doctor knew about demons and also the blue spider lily ability to cure the side effects from the sun. Well, how did he know all of this information? It had to be either tested in the past or information from generations ago. So where are the other demons? It is impossible to say whether or not there are other demons similar to Muzan in strength, but it would be a cool side story to see if the authors decide to go that route. The fifth mystery is the Kamado bloodline and their relationship to the Tsugukuni family. We don't know much about them, but it was said that Yoriichi saved one of the Kamado members and befriended him along his lifetime. Yoriichi eventually taught him sun breathing and also gave him the Hanafuda earrings. Eventually, it was passed down from generation to generation, eventually landing them in the ears of Tanjiro. Sun breathing also passed down, but the big question is, why was the sun breathing technique lost during Tanjiro's era? In the current generation, no one knew of the sun breathing technique until Tanjiro brought it back into mainstream media. It is easily the strongest breathing style, so why did no other Demon Slayer learn it? The sixth unsolved mystery of Demon Slayer is Genya's American breathing and demon blood art. The big question is, how is it possible for Genya to consume a demon and regenerate from it? First of all, how did he even know that that was a possibility for him? Did one day he just felt bored and decided to consume a demon? Genya is one of those characters who had a purpose to becoming a Demon Slayer, however, was put 6 feet under. However, the next question is, what would have happened if he actually had a breathing technique? I mean, Demon Slayer took place in an older generation of Japan, so where did Genya even get a double-barrel shotgun? He is literally the only character in the whole series to use something other than a sharp blade. For our 7th mystery, we shift gears back to the Demon Slayer mark. Did you ever wonder why only some of the Demon Slayers were able to unlock the Demon Slayer mark, while others didn't? Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Kanao, to name a few, did not use the Demon Slayer marks when faced with immense danger. Even though all the criterias were met for one to unlock the Demon Slayer mark was there, they just didn't. If everyone were to unlock the mark, would the fight change against the Upper Moons and even Muzan? fan, I was really hoping that Zenitsu would unlock the mark against Muzan. However, it never happened. I believe that he would have been one of the strongest demon slayers if this were to happen in the battle. Our 8th mysteries has got to be Demon King Tanjiro. In the series, we only got to see a glimpse of Tanjiro's new form. However, it is known that he was able to withstand the sun, unlike a certain someone. This makes Tanjiro the perfect demon. Now, the question that we all have in our minds is, how strong is Demon King Tanjiro? In terms of strength, is he stronger than Muzan himself? However, a bigger question that the fans are wondering is Demon King Tanjiro stronger than the Demon Slayer god himself, Yoriichi? Now, that is a battle that I would pay to see. The 9th unanswered mystery is, did the Kamado squad become Hashiras? Now, this may be a stretch, but during the final battle against Muzan, there are a lot of demon slayers that died, including the Hashiras. Because of this, the Demon Slayer Corp needs to fill in the void that was left behind. This is where Tanjiro and the squad comes into play. They are easily Hashira level and meet all the requirements, such as defeating Upper Moon demons. However, due to some articles, it was said that all the demons created by Muzan died right when the creator died. However, this goes back to our previous mystery of if there are older demons roaming the earth. If so, the Demon Slayer Corp rises up again and defeats the remaining demons. Unfortunately, the series ended after the final battle, so we didn't get to see the future. For the 10th mystery, we shifted to the one and only Nezuko. We all know that Muzan turned her into a demon in episode 1, but why only her? Seeing how big the Kamado family is, why was Nezuko the only one who turned into a demon? Did Muzan just randomly choose someone from the family to become a demon? If anything, why would he even turn anyone from that family into a demon in the first place? We all know that because of this one decision that he made in centuries, it would lead him to his demise. If Muzan just finished her off instead of playing games, then the entire Demon Slayer premise would change drastically. The 11th unsolved mystery of the Demon Slayer series is the mark on Tanjiro's forehead. From flashback, we see that Tanjiro already had the mark since he was a child. Another person who possessed the same mark is his father. So is this just a birthmark? I think not. Many people speculate that the mark that Tanjiro has in his forehead has something to do with the Demon Slayer mark. Maybe because of this, Tanjiro was able to activate the mark, which is the first person in centuries. The 12th unsolved mystery that we will jump into is the past Demon Slayers. In the series, we were introduced to a number of former Hashiras, including those who trained the current generations. However, it has been centuries since Yoriichi's death. There must have been a number of different types of Hashiras and breathing styles. What type of new breathing styles are there? How strong were the former Hashiras? We did get some information that might answer these questions. It was said that it had been centuries since an Upper Moon has been defeated. So you're telling me that for centuries, the Demon Slayer Corps was getting wiped out left and right? That makes the previous generation and those before it really weak. No progress has been made until Tanjiro became a Demon Slayer. While on the subject of power, this brings us to our next mystery, which is how strong is Yoriichi? On top of this, where did he get this extraordinary power? We know that he was named the God of Demon Slayer, but was this power just bestowed upon him since birth? In the series, saw that Yoriichi easily defeated Muzan with his sun breathing, but we never got to see him use his full strength. Muzan eventually went into hiding, but during his remaining time alive, did he ever train someone to take his place? As mentioned earlier, sun breathing was eventually lost in the future generations, but there is a high possibility that Yoriichi himself trained others to wield the blade and defeat demons. I believe that this was the only reason the Demon Slayer Corp was still standing after so many centuries. Our 14th mystery is regarding our donut Hashira Rengoku. Jokes aside, we actually never witnessed Rengoku's full strength. This comes without saying that Tanjiro at that time never unleashed his Demon Slayer mark. However, if he did at that point in the series, the whole dynamic would change. Rengoku with the Demon Slayer mark would at least triple in strength. So the big question is, can a Demon Slayer mark Rengoku defeat Akaza? Well, this is hard to say since we don't know how strong he would be after the mark, but it would definitely give him a better chance than in the movie. During the movie, Akaza almost fell victim to the sun, so with Rengoku being a little stronger, it would increase the chances of victory. Our 15th unsolved mystery is a bit different. How would the story play out if Kokushibo didn't surrender? We all know that Kokushibo is a monster in terms of strength, but what would happen if he continued to fight at full strength? Many people speculate that Kokushibo has the power to even rival Muzan, and if he continued to fight at full strength, it would be game over. Let's say that he did fall victim to the guilt trip, but instead continued. He could have easily wiped the floor with Gyome and Sanemi. After all those deaths, who'd be left to defeat him, let alone the Demon King himself? For the 16th question, we shift gears to the MC himself. How strong would an adult Tanjiro be if he continued to train even after defeating Muzan? Now, this may be speculation territory, but he could easily be one of the strongest demon slayers to even exist, aside from Yoriichi, of course. If you look at his current stats, he is already able to use a number of breathing styles like water, thunder, and the legendary legendary sun breathing. Now talk about overpower. Once he becomes a Hashira, he will continue to go on dangerous missions and training, eventually giving us the debate if a Hashira Tanjiro is able to defeat Muzan in a 1-versus-1 battle. The 17th mystery is regarding the color of the Nichiren blades and the meaning behind them. In the series, we witnessed a number of different colors blades wielded by different demon slayers, but what does this all mean? It was only stated that the black blade that Tanjiro held was rare and powerful. The big question is that does a different color have any special powers? For example, Zenitsu's blade is yellow. Does that have any significance? It was stated that a black blade is able to store sunlight easier since it is darker in color. Therefore, it makes it hotter when using sunbreathe. The 18th mystery revolves around the Demon Slayer Corps. Who is the original founder of this organization? Was it Yoriichi or someone he knows because their sole purpose of existing is defeating Muzan? Who else from the past generation knows of Muzan and the origins of the demon? And also, the big question is, who is funding this whole operation that's been going on for centuries? It's like they have infinite amount of money to pay the Demon Slayer. It was said that the owner of the Demon Slayer Corporation is the royal family of Japan, but that still doesn't explain how the money never ran out if it's just killing demons. The 19th mystery is for the strongest demon in the Demon Slayers. Many people would easily say that no one even compares to Muzan. However, they forget to put Kokushibo into the conversation. We do know that Muzan treats Kokushibo with the utmost respect, so they would never get into a deathmatch. But people speculate that Kokushibo with his blood demon art can give Muzan a run for his money. We never found out how strong a full-powered Kokushibo was, but he was easily able to handle 3 Hashiras at once. For our last Demon Slayer unsolved mystery is the life after Muzan is defeated. There were many relationships that happened during the series, including Tanjiro and Kanao. We do know that they had a child and eventually grandchildren. But the big question is, what happens to life after Muzan? Do they go back to living normal lives? Does Tanjiro go back to his charcoal days? Or will he continue to train until he meets his end? We did get a reincarnation series of almost everyone in the Demon Slayer verse, but in the original timeline, not much. Make sure to like, subscribe, and click the video on the screen for more such content.